Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. On this channel I teach sewing tutorial, pattern drafting, art and crafts, and many more. So today's tutorial is going to be the cutting and sewing of this beautiful Maxi dress shown on the screen with inner pocket, beginners friendly, and it's A-line dress. So if this is what you want to learn, please watch this video to the end. So I have 2.5 yards of fabric folded into 4. You can choose to use 3 yards or 4 yards depending on how you want the down part to be wider. So if this is your first time or visiting this channel, you are welcome. Please consider subscribing to this channel and also turn on your notification bell so not to miss out on my new updates. If you are my returning subscriber, I would like to say a big thank you for always coming back to watch my videos and thank for your support. I really appreciate it. Without taking much of your time, let's get back to the video. Now the first thing to do, I've already drawn out my guideline and also my chest line. And this guideline also serves as my shoulder line. So from my shoulder to my chest line is 8 inches. So on this shoulder, I'll be marking half of my across shoulder measurement. And my shoulder is 16 inches divided by 2 is 8 inches. So I mark 8 inches here on the shoulder line. And I'm marking 8 inches also on my chest line. So I can get a straight line here. So I draw a straight line. The next thing to do is to mark quarter of my bust measurement. My bust is 39 inches divided by 4 is 10.75. And I'm taking 1 inch for the side seam allowance. So the next thing to do, I'm taking away 2 inches from the shoulder line. This is where my stripe is going to be. The stripe not supposed to be on the shoulder line exact, supposed to be in the middle of the shoulder line. That's why I came in by 2 inches. And from these 2 inches, I'm going to go up by 3 inches. And I connect the line straight. Next, from the tip of my shoulder, I'll be coming down by 6 inches. You can go down by 7 inches, 5 inches, depending on how you want your cleavage to show. But I'll be coming down by 6 inches. So I mark 6 inches here. And I'm going to connect the 6 inches to meet this 3 inches point here. So this is my neckline. Because it's a spaghetti sleeves, the spaghetti sleeve is going to be in the middle here, like so. So this is it. So from this end now, I'll be connecting the line straight to my armhole. So next, I'll be measuring the length of my dress. So the length of the dress I'm working on is 50 inches. 50 inches. I want it more than 50 inches, but my material is not enough. So I leave it because my material is 2.5 yards. So coming down the hem line, I'll be marking quarter of my hip measurement. Quarter of my hip measurement times 2. But because my fabric is not that big, so I'll be measuring quarter of my hip measurement plus some inches. My hip measurement is 44 inches divided by 4 is 11 inches. So I needed 11 inches times 2 or 2.5. But because the material is small, I'll just use the whole down part of the dress. So I've got exact times 2. So I'm going to use all. From this hem line, I'm going to connect the line with my straight ruler all the way to meet the bust line here. So let me get my long ruler and do just that. So on this hemline, because I don't want it to be that sharp, I'll be going up by 1.5 inch. Then I'll connect it to the midpoint here. This is our dress. Our dress is ready. Before cutting it, I'll be adding 1/2 inch here, all the way here to the armpit for the sewing allowance. But I'll eyeball it. If you're a beginner, just measure it. So by connecting from these 3 inches to the armhole line, it helps when you wear your dress, your armpit will not be showing too much. So this is it. It's ready. Now I'll be cutting it out. I'm cutting both the front and the back neck together. It's the same. So this is it. So I'm going to be cutting facing for it, for both the front and the back. Please don't use bias to turn the neck. You have to cut facing for it, and then use the same fabric to cut the facing, as you see me doing now. So I'm placing the fabric on it, on the facing. The facing is going to end here. So let me mark it so that you see how it is. Cover up to here. If you tape the edges with bias, it doesn't give a neat finishing. So this is it. I'm cutting 2 of this facing. So I'm cutting the facing now. Our facings are ready. These are the 2 pieces, one for the back and then one for the front. So the next thing to do now is to cut my pockets. So I have folded these pieces into 4 for the pockets, and I'm going to be marking 7 inches for the opening of the pocket. I'm going to be cutting 8 inches for the pockets opening. I added 1 inch for the sewing allowance because I'll be using half on each side of the pocket, and the length of the pocket is going to be, I don't want it that long, so let me just make it 11 inches. That's the deepness of the pocket. This is 11 inches and this is 8 inches. So on one side I'll be giving it a curve on the down part like so. So this is where we'll be joined to the dress, and then this is the deepness of the pocket. And this is the 8 inches for both the pocket opening and the sewing allowance. So I'll be cutting it out. I'll trim these edges off. So this is our pocket, both for the 2 pockets. So I'll cut this side open. So all our pieces are ready. So we'll start joining the dress. So the first thing to do is to attach the stripes to the dress and then the facing together. So let me notch the midpoints of each of the bodies. So to attach the facing, you first of all have to attach the straps. So I've already sewn the straps down. These are the 2 pieces of the straps down. So I'll be attaching it, see the good side, facing the good side of the fabric. I'll attach it like so, and then attach it with the lining. So this is it. I've pinned down the straps and I've pinned down the facing. What I'll be doing now is to fold the facing like this and sew it from one end to the other. Then come this way, start sewing it from here with 1/2 inch like this. So this, from this armpit all the way from the neck, then all the way to the other armpit with 1/2 inch. I'll go and sew it and come and show you how it looks. Then we'll proceed to the next bodice facing and facing of the strap. So let me just go and do that and come back. So I finished attaching the strap to the first bodice. Then I turn it inside out and give it a good press. As you can see, very neat. So the next thing is to attach the strap to the other bodice. This is the other bodice. And to do that, I'll be measuring the length of the strap needed. So my armhole depth was 8 inches and I went up by 3 inches for the strap. So I'm left with 5 inches. So 5 inches for the front, 5 inches for the back. So it's 10 inches. I'm at 10 inches. And then half an inch for the sewing allowance. So it's 10 and a half inches. So on the other side, I marked 10 and a half inches. So I forgot to tell you guys the width of the strap is 1 inch. So when I sew it, I left it 0.75. So I'll be attaching it together with the facing. So I pin it down and I'll be ironing hemming gum later. Please pay attention here because this part is a bit confusing. So you see the good side facing the good side of each bodice. So I'll be pinning the strap here on this side and I'll be leaving the half inch allowance I left to sew it down. So let me mark it up so that people will understand it well. This is the 10.5 inches and then the half inch I left for the sewing allowance initially when cutting, and then the half inch. So you should take all this into consideration because you are leaving half an inch here to sew it and half an inch here to sew it and also half an inch here to sew it. So you make sure that your strap, the 10.5 falls on the half an inch here and then the half an inch down here. Hope I'm clear. And I'll be attaching it with the lining. So let me pin it down first. Let me pin the other side too. Then I'll pin down the facing too. Then I'll cut the excess off and leave just a small, about half an inch. So this is both straps. I'm taking it to my machine to sew it the same way I sew the other bodies and be back to show you guys. So after sewing it, this is how it looks. Let me show you the inner part. So this is it. These are the straps. You see how neat and beautiful it's looking. And this is it. I iron a gum stain inside this side here on the neck part. So I let this side open and this side open because that's where I'll be joining the sides. So the next thing I'll be doing now is to attach the pockets. And to do that, I'll be measuring from the highest part of my shoulder down by 20 inches. You can measure 18, 19, it depends on where you want your pocket to be, but for mine I'm measuring 20 inches. That will be the start of the pocket. So 20 inches is somewhere here. So I'm going to notch this part. So I'll be notching the pocket starts here. So I'll be notching this place. Make sure that you align everything well. Then I notch the starting of the pocket, which is 20 inches from the highest part of the shoulder down. So this is the notch, and I'm going to be folding it to the other side to notch also so that it will be equal. So I've notched the other side too. So this is it. So the next thing to do is to get my pocket. So I have 4 pieces of the pocket, 2 for the front and 2 for the back. So I'll be pinning the pocket down. the curved side is going to be towards the down part of the dress, and I'm going to pin it down from where I notch. You see, you pin it the good side facing the good side. So I'm going to pin the other side also. This is where the notch is. So I'll take it to my machine and stitch it on the edge like this with 1/2 inch, and also stitch this side with 1/2 inch. I'll be doing the same thing to the other piece bodice. I'll pin the pocket down and then sew it also with 1/2 inch on both sides, and then come back and show you the next step. So guys, after sewing the pocket, this is how it looks. This is it. After sewing it, I turn it towards the pocket and top stitch it. I top stitch it towards the pocket, not the main fabric. And I did it to both the two pockets here. Initially, I said have to sew it with 1/2 inch, but rather it's 3/4 inch that you sew, because I left 1 inch side seam allowance. So I used 3/4 inch to attach the pockets. So this is how it looks. The next thing is I'll show you how to join the sides, and I'll pin it and show you. Now I've pinned down the pockets, I line each. So the next thing is to show you how to sew the sides. If you can remember, I left 1 inch for the sewing allowance. This is the facing. You see, you are going to open the facing like this, and then mark 1 inch from here. You measure it 1 inch from the lining to the bust side, and then you come down like this to where the pocket ends. You see where the pocket ends? You come 1/2 inch inside the pocket, then you curve it like so. Then you sew it all around the pocket like this. Then you come up here where the pocket ends. I hope you can see the line. Then continue all the way down. So I'm just going to do that. Do it on the other side. Then after, I hem the down with 1/2 inch. Because the fabric frills, you can overlock inside if you want, or you make zigzag inside. So I'm going to sew it and then come and show you the finishing look. So this is me rocking in my dress, my spaghetti dress. You see the pocket exactly. I measure 20 inches for the start of the pocket. This is the pocket. See, my hand is inside freely. This is the pocket, and this is the side that I came up 3 inches and curve it to the armhole. You see, it covered my bust. You see, my bust is not showing. It's not showing. Nothing is showing, and it covered my cleavage. If you want it to calm down, but I think it's okay for me like this. So this is it. Look at how nice it looks. I wanted it a bit longer, but my material was not enough. But my fabric was not enough. So it's okay. It's good to rock for this summer. Very beautiful. Look at it. Look how beautiful it looks. You see, everything is perfect. So guys, this is basically it. Our dress is looking beautiful. So we have come to the end of today's tutorial. If you find this tutorial helpful, then give it a thumbs up. Subscribe, and share my videos. Also leave comment down the comment section below. Thanks for watching, and don't miss out on my new uploads. See you in my next video. Bye. I love you. Bye.